Hello, this is Dr. Sangeeta. The topic I am going to take today is rule of law. So here it is Dicey's rule of law following the English law system, where he said that it is one of the fundamental principles of English legal system. The three attributed meaning of the said doctrine are supremacy of law, equality before law, and predominance of legal spirit. So we will now see what is supremacy of law. So Dicey states that rule of law means absolute supremacy or predominance of a regular law as opposed to the influence of arbitrary power or wide discretionary power. Here one should understand the word arbitrary. So there are two words attached to it, arbitrary and power. So when arbitrary means the power is misused or used in excess, or it is really harming the general public, then such power would be an arbitrary power. It excludes the existence of arbitrariness of the prerogative or wide discretionary authority on the government. According to the English law, wherever there is discretion, there is room for arbitrariness. So you will all be well aware of the saying, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So keeping that in mind, we can understand that wherever there is discretion, there is room for arbitrariness. And in a republic, no less than a monarchy, discretion is or an authority on the part of the government must mean insecurity of the legal freedom on the part of its subjects. So, according to Wade, the rule of law requires that the government must be subjected to law rather than the law being subjected to the government. No man can be arrested, punished, or be lawfully made to suffer or goods except by due process of law or for a breach of law established in the ordinary legal manner before an ordinary court and law for the time being in force. Here if you see law for the time being in force, the municipal law that is available in the day-to-day life, the law that is enacted and it is being in force. Second point, equality before law. Dicey states that there must be equality before law or equal subjection of all classes to the ordinary law of the land, administered by the ordinary court of law. In England, there is no special court or a tribunal for the officers of the government or other authorities. He criticized the French legal system of droit administrative, where there was a separate administrative tribunal for deciding between cases on officials of the state and a separate court for citizens. Next point is the predominance of legal spirit. Rights such as right of personal liberty, freedom from arrest, freedom to hold public meetings are guaranteed by the written constitution. India has a written constitution, but England, they don't have a written constitution. So England does not have a written constitution, and so the rights are the result of judicial decisions. In court cases which have actually arisen between the parties, wherein the constitution is not the source but the consequence of the rights of the individuals. Dices emphasized that the rule of court of law than by mere declaration of those rights in a document, as in the later case it can be even ignored, curtailed or trampled upon. So usually when you write something in a paper and when you forget it or when you don't use it, it become a law which is in paper alone. So that is what Dicey is conveying here. Next, if you see, there were so many criticisms on Dicey's rule of law, but if you see the importance of Dicey's rule of law, it has to be identified with the concept of rights of citizens. According to Wade and Phillips, who stated that it is accepted in almost all the countries and it is invoked in the modern democratic country setup as well, to keep control over the oppressive, capricious and the arbitrary exercise of power by the administrative authorities. Here one should not forget that any law which is made by the government is for the people. So Salus Suprema here is for the people. At the end of the day, the people should be benefited by the law. Here the International Commission of Jurists in their Delhi Declaration, which was made as early as 1957, accepted the idea of rule of law as a modern form of law of nature. So only I have mentioned that the rule of law has been accepted in India, and if you see that by taking these discussions, it is undeniable that the rule of law is an essential element of constitutionalism and upholding the democratic system of government. The rule of law is also inevitably linked with the principle supporting the rule of law, one of the constitutional responsibility given to the judiciary, which is the executing authority of any law. Here, thus the rule of law must be supported by a judicial system which is free and independent from any external interference, which emphasizing the importance of doctrine of separation of powers. It has been proven that many of the countries, when they are practically applying rule of law, or on the way to achieve the goal, as they are departing away from the pathway of upholding the rule of law. Proper measures should be taken in order to uphold supremacy of law and adaptation of rule of law in a democratic setup so as to really benefit the citizens. Thank you.